Chosen one, what you are about to hear is not a general message. It is exactly what you needed to hear, exactly tonight, exactly in the place where you are sitting right now. Do not scroll, do not move. Heaven has been waiting for the moment when you would be still enough to receive this. Every other voice in your week was noise. This one is different. You will know within the next 60 seconds whether what I am saying is for you or whether it is for someone else. If it is for you, your spirit is already leaning forward. There is a reason your hands found this video at this hour. There is a reason every distraction in your day pulled away long enough for you to land here. The Father has been speaking for weeks. You have been hearing fragments. Tonight, the fragments come together. Tonight, the sentence becomes clear. Tonight, what you have been straining to hear arrives whole and undeniable. Stay with me. The first thing the Father wants you to hear is something you have been afraid was not true. Stop scrolling. Stop the noise. If you are around people, this is not for them. Silence the room as much as you can. Take a real breath. The next stretch of this hour was not assembled by accident. If your spirit just confirmed that this hour is for you, type the words, "I am listening," in the comments below. Not for me, for yourself. So, your hands and your spirit agree on the same posture before another word is spoken. Before we go deeper, hear what is being placed for you in this hour. By the time this message ends, you will know the exact word the Father has been holding for you in this season, not a general principle, the specific sentence. You will know how to recognize the sound of His voice the next time it comes, not just tonight, but in the weeks ahead. You will receive a teaching about Kairos and Rhema that most chosen ones go their whole lives without hearing. The difference between heaven's clock and ours. The difference between the written word and the living word, spoken into your moment. You will be given a listening posture you can carry past this video into your week. A posture, not just a feeling. And before this hour closes, there is a sentence I am going to speak directly over your life. The kind of sentence a chosen one carries forward as anchor. Do not leave before then. What is coming is for you. It is the still hour after midnight. The city has finally lowered its volume. The hum of the day has gone soft. The phone is face down on the table, next to a half-empty cup. The chair you are sitting in has held your weight through more nights this year than you wanted to count. This is not a comfortable quiet. It is the kind of quiet that has felt, for a long time, like absence. You have been waiting for a voice. You have stopped expecting it the way you used to. Every silence you mistook for absence, I see you. Every prayer that came back without an echo, I see you. Every word you waited for that did not arrive in the form you wanted, I see you. Every Sunday you walked out the same way you walked in, I see you. Every Tuesday at 4 in the morning when you whispered something into the ceiling and got nothing back, I see you. I am not going to spiritualize that silence away tonight. I am not going to dress it up. The silence was real. The waiting was real. The moments you wondered if you had imagined the whole thing, those were real too. But hear this carefully. What if the silence wasn't absence? What if it was preparation? What if heaven, which sees the work that grew in you under all that quiet, has been keeping a sentence for you that you could not have carried 6 months ago? The silence was real, and it was strategic. Both can be true. If this hour is for you, here is how you will know. The first sign is that you have been crying at moments you cannot explain. Songs that did not move you a year ago now break something open in your chest. A line in a movie you have seen a dozen times suddenly becomes the line that ends you. That is not random. That is a heart being softened to receive something it could not have held last year. The second sign is that the same word, the same verse, the same phrase has been showing up across unrelated sources this week. A friend said it on the phone. A sermon you half listened to said it. A book you opened by accident said it. A child said it. That is not coincidence. That is heaven repeating itself for ears that are starting to come awake. The third sign is that environments that used to be tolerable have started to drain you. Conversations that used to fit do not fit anymore. People who used to feel safe now feel small. That is not you becoming difficult. That is your spirit being calibrated to a frequency that the old version of your life was not built to hold. The fourth sign is the quietest. Words have been arriving in your mind without source, not your voice, not anyone you know. Quiet sentences that came in fully formed and left as quickly as they came. That is not your imagination. That is what hearing sounds like when it has been suppressed for too long and is starting to return. If even two of those signs are true for you tonight, your hearing has already begun to come back. So why has it taken so long? Because heaven was forming patience in you. The kind of patience that does not panic when an answer is delayed. The kind that does not bargain. The kind that simply stays. Because heaven was forming discernment in you. The ability to tell the difference between your own voice, the world's voice, and the voice that comes from somewhere quieter than both. Because heaven was forming the listening ear itself, an ear that does not strain, an ear that does not perform, an ear that simply waits, soft and ready, for the moment the word arrives. Heaven knows what kind of question you are now able to receive an answer to. That is why tonight is the hour. Listen to what is being placed on my heart for you. I have not been silent. I have been speaking under the noise. I have been speaking in a frequency you forgot how to receive. Tonight, I am lowering my voice to meet you exactly where your hearing is. Tonight, I am saying it plainly. Stay close. The sentence I have been holding for you is about to be placed in your hands. Hold that. Do not analyze it yet. What you have just heard is the surface of what tonight is. There is something underneath these signs that most teachers never reach. It is the part that explains why your hearing has felt incomplete. It is the part that names what has been forming in you under the silence. And it is the part the next stretch of this message is built to deliver. Beneath every one of those signs lives a single question. Why now? Why tonight? Why has the line been opened in this exact hour and not 6 months ago when you needed it more? The answer is not flattering at first, but it is the truth. Heaven did not answer 6 months ago because the answer would have hardened you in the wrong shape. You would have grabbed it with the version of your hands that still wanted to control. You would have used it to reinforce a self that was not yet ready to be sent forward. Heaven did not answer 6 months ago because the question itself was not yet ready. You were asking a smaller version of the question. Tonight, you are asking the real one. And the real one is the one heaven has been holding the answer to. Heaven did not answer 6 months ago because the listening ear was still being assembled. An ear that strains will mishear. An ear that performs will twist the word in mid-air. An ear that needs to be right will not be able to hold a word that asks it to change. 6 months ago you had hearing. Tonight you have a listening ear. There is a difference. And the difference is what tonight depends on. For that ear to form, 3 versions of you had to be laid down. The performer in you who heard for approval, she had to die. The one who would have taken the word, polished it, and posted it before she had even processed what it was asking of her. The fixer in you who heard for control, he had to die. The one who would have taken the sentence and tried to engineer the outcome before the sentence had a chance to do its own work. The proving self in you who heard for permission to exist, that one had to die hardest. The one who needed the word to confirm that he was worth speaking to. What was not killed was you, only the costumes. The actual you, the listener, under all the performance, that one survived. That one is sitting in the chair tonight. Long ago, in a season when heaven had grown rare in the land, there was a child who slept in the temple. The voice of the Lord had become an unusual thing in those days. Most prophets had stopped expecting it. The lamp in the temple had not yet gone out, but the light was thin. The child heard a voice in the night. He thought it was the old priest who had raised him. He ran to him. The priest, half asleep, said, "I did not call you. Go back and lie down." The voice came again. The child ran again. The priest sent him back again. The third time, the priest understood. He understood that the voice the child was hearing was not from the room. He understood that the child had not been taught what to do with a voice from somewhere quieter than the room. So the priest taught him. He said, "When the voice comes again, do not run. Lie still and say these words. Speak, your servant is listening." The child went back. The voice came a fourth time, and the child said the words he had been taught. And from that night forward, he became one of the great hearers in his generation. Listen carefully. The child did not have a defective ear. The child had an untrained one. Recognition is a learned posture. Maybe the reason you have not heard clearly is not that heaven has been silent. Maybe it is that no one has taught you the posture yet. Tonight, that posture is being taught. You are noticing you can sit in silence longer than you used to. The silence that used to feel unbearable now feels like company. You are noticing the prayers you pray are smaller and more honest. You no longer ask for the big thing. You ask for the next true thing. You are noticing you have stopped asking for the kind of clarity that used to feel safe and started asking for the kind that requires you to change. That is the listening posture forming. That is Samuel's words being placed in your mouth without your knowing it. If something just shifted in you while you heard about that child in the temple, gently press the like button before we go further. Not for me. So this message can find another chosen one who is sitting in the same hour you are sitting in, waiting for someone to teach them the posture. The posture is forming because the answer is heavy. Heaven does not place a heavy word into a hand that has not been prepared to carry it. But here is the part that is rarely spoken aloud. The listening posture you have been forming is not only spiritual, it is also biological. There is a layer to your hearing that operates below your awareness, at the level of brainwave frequency itself. And the world you live in has been working against that layer for most of your adult life. If you can feel the posture forming in you tonight, type the words, "I receive," in the comments below. Let your spirit and your hands agree on the same declaration before we go deeper. What I am about to share next is the part that bridges the listening posture you are forming to the actual hearing your body was built to do. It is the part that makes recognition possible at the level of biology, not just faith. And it is the part most teachers do not name. Before another minute passes, what is real should be named, without veils, without the building of mystery, for the sake of selling something at the end. Truth honors truth. So let what is true be placed in your hands now, openly, while the rest of this hour still has time to do its work. What we have just touched, the formation of the listening ear, the recalibration of how you receive, has two parts to it, not one. The first part is about waking up the frequency of curiosity and magical learning that a child has before the world teaches him to doubt. Scientists call it gamma, the child mind frequency, and modern life has been dimming it in you since you were 7 years old. The second part is about deactivating the background hum of stress that closes the channel through which you receive. That frequency is called alpha, and it has been hijacked by the constant low-grade survival mode of adult life. There is an audio called The Genius Song, 7 minutes, developed by Dr. Robert Lake after 34 years of research. It is built to reactivate the gamma frequency, to wake the child mind back up. There is another called The Wealth Signal, 5 minutes, developed by Dr. Stephen Newton, formerly of Stanford. It is built to deactivate the stress signal and restore the alpha state, to reopen the channel through which receiving becomes natural again. 2 waves. Wave 1 wakes the child within. Wave 2 opens what was promised to her. They work in that order: child first, reception second. If your spirit already pulls toward this, the doors are placed in the description below this video and again in the pinned comment. Not as pressure, as provision. Stay for the rest of this hour if you want the full context. But for those whose hearing is already ahead of the words, the path is there. Back into the deeper current. The names you just heard are tools. The gift is what comes next, what your spirit has been waiting to remember about why those tools exist for someone exactly like you, in a season exactly like this one. Because under the formation of the listening ear, under the calibration of frequency, under the slow softening of the heart that has happened in you over the last year, there has been a sentence forming. Not a principle, not a teaching, a sentence. Specific, short, unmistakable. Heaven has been writing it in fragments across your week, and tonight you are about to assemble the fragments into the single thing they have always been. There is a Greek word for the kind of word heaven prepares for the kind of moment you are now in. There is a different Greek word for the kind of timing this moment is happening on. In the next stretch of this hour, both words come into your hands, and once they do, the sentence becomes impossible to mistake. The first word is Kairos. In ancient Greek, there were 2 words for time. They did not mean the same thing. They were not interchangeable. The first was chronos, clock time, measurable, linear, the kind of time you check on your wrist or count by the hours of your shift. Chronos is the time that makes you feel late, the time that moves whether you are ready or not. The second was Kairos. Kairos was the time that did not belong to the clock. Kairos was the appointed hour, the right moment, the time that arrived not by minute, but by readiness. The time that opened a window heaven had been holding for one specific person, in one specific season, with one specific question that had finally come of age. Listen carefully. You did not arrive late to your life. You did not miss your moment. You did not waste the years that felt slow. You arrived in Kairos. The reason it took this long is that Chronos and Kairos were never going to agree. The clock said you should have heard the answer in your 20s. The clock said you should have known your purpose by 30. The clock said you should have been further along by now, but the clock was not in charge. The hour that was holding the answer for you was Kairos. And Kairos was waiting for you to be ready, not for the calendar to advance. You are ready. Heaven knows it. The second word is Rhema. In the language of the New Testament, there were also 2 words for the Word of God, and again, they did not mean the same thing. The first was Logos, the written word, the principle, the foundation, the verses that were settled in Scripture before you were born. Logos is the dictionary, the library, the unchanging text. The second was Rhema. Rhema was the spoken word for the moment, alive, specific, breathed into a particular ear at a particular hour for a particular purpose. Rhema was the sentence that lifted off the page and walked into your day. Rhema was what a chosen one heard when she turned around and discovered that one verse she had read 100 times was suddenly addressing her by name. Logos is the dictionary. Rhema is the love letter, handwritten to you on a Tuesday afternoon. You have been hearing Logos all your life. You have been reading the principles. You have been studying the foundation. You have been faithful to the text. Tonight is different. Tonight is Rhema. There are 3 signs that what you are receiving is a true Rhema word and not just your own thought dressed up. The first sign is that a Rhema word lands with weight you did not bring to it. You did not work yourself up to feel it. You did not pump up the emotion. The sentence arrived heavy on its own, the way a stone is heavy whether or not you wanted it to be. The second sign is that a Rhema word changes a posture, not just an opinion. After you hear it, you sit differently, you walk differently, you make the next decision differently. It does not just shift what you think, it shifts how you stand. The third sign is that a Rhema word continues to speak after the moment of hearing ends. It returns to you at 2 in the morning. It returns 3 days later, in the middle of a conversation about something else. It does not exhaust itself. It speaks again and again until you have done what it was asking. If even one of those 3 signs has begun in you while listening to this hour, you are in the presence of Rhema. If this hour is finding you in Kairos, there are more words being prepared for the seasons ahead of you. Subscribe so they can find you when they are ready. Not because heaven needs the algorithm, because some of you are going to sit at 4 in the morning, 6 months from now, and need the next sentence to arrive without you having to search for it. Long before any of this, in a country far from here, there was a prophet who had grown bone-tired of being a voice for heaven. He had stood up to kings. He had called down fire. He had won every confrontation that mattered. And then, in a single afternoon, exhaustion broke him. He ran. He hid in a cave. He told God that he wanted to die. That is the moment we are pulling forward. The Lord told him to stand on the mountain. Then the Lord passed by. A great wind tore at the rocks. The wind would have been the obvious place for a voice. The wind was loud. The wind was dramatic. The wind was the kind of moment a prophet would expect to find God in. The Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, an earthquake. The earth split open. Stones fell from the cliffs. The earthquake was even bigger than the wind. The earthquake was the kind of sign that would have made the news. The Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire. Heat that bent the air. Light that blinded the eye. The fire was the kind of moment that fills a story for generations. The Lord was not in the fire. And then, after all of it, a still small voice. The whisper that came after the storm passed. The voice that did not announce itself. The voice that did not perform. The voice that simply spoke, quietly, into a prophet who had finally been emptied enough to hear it. That is the voice that was always going to deliver the answer. Hear me carefully. If you have been waiting for the dramatic divine moment, you may have been missing the still voice that has been there the whole time. If you have been listening for the wind, the earthquake, the fire, you may have walked straight past the whisper. The whisper is what is delivering tonight. There is a woman who messaged me about exactly this. For 7 years, she had been waiting on a single answer about her direction. She had stopped praying about it out loud. She had stopped expecting an answer. On a Tuesday at 4 in the morning, after a year of complete silence on the question, a single sentence arrived in her mind. It was not her voice. It was not anyone she knew. It came in fully formed and stayed in the room for half a second before fading. She did not have to write it down to remember it. The sentence was specific enough that she rearranged her life around it within 45 days. She did not strain to hear that sentence. She had simply, finally, stopped striving long enough to position herself to receive it. If something just settled in your chest while you heard about her, type the word Amen in the comments below, so your spirit and your hands agree on the same recognition, so the moment is sealed in writing while it is still warm. Stay with me through what is coming. Before this hour ends, there is a sentence I am going to speak directly over your life. The kind of sentence a chosen one carries forward as anchor, not a quote, not a teaching. A line that will continue to speak in you long after this video has gone quiet. Do not leave before then. Listen to what is being placed on my heart for you. The line that has been written for you tonight is shorter than you expected. I have been hiding a sentence for you in plain sight, in the smallest moments of your week, waiting for you to be still enough to assemble it. Tonight, you assemble it. Tonight, the sentence becomes a single thing in your hands. Hold that. Do not analyze it yet. There is one more piece needed before the sentence can be fully heard. What you have learned so far is that you are in Kairos, that the word coming is Rhema, and that the voice delivering it is the still one, not the loud one. That is the framework. That is the architecture. But there is one thing that can stop a Rhema word from reaching even the chosen one whose ear has been opened. It is not lack of faith. It is not lack of love. It is not lack of trying. It is something quieter, something most teachers never name aloud. And in the next stretch of this hour, that is exactly what is named. The obstacle is not unbelief. You believe. That is not in question. You have been believing through fog, through silence, through years that did not reward your faith on the timeline you wanted. So, put unbelief away. That is not what is in the way. The obstacle is the version of you who learned, somewhere along the line of your life, that you were not the kind of person God speaks to clearly. That version of you is sitting at the door of your hearing right now, deciding whether the sentence you have already half received is for you or for someone else. Someone louder, someone holier, someone with credentials, someone who has earned it more than you. It is not unbelief. It is not arrogance. It is a quiet old wound that learned to call itself humility. The voice that says, surely heaven would not speak this clearly to me. The voice that says, surely there is someone more deserving of a Rhema word in this room. The voice that says, surely I am misreading what is being placed in me right now. That voice protected you once. When you were younger and not ready, that voice kept you from running ahead of your formation. It kept you from claiming words you could not yet carry. It was a guardian. But what protected you yesterday is now what blocks you today. The guardian is no longer needed. The guardian can be retired with honor. So hear this carefully. You are allowed to be the kind of person God speaks to clearly. You are allowed to be the chosen one in the room. You are allowed to receive a sentence you did not earn through hours of intercession. You are allowed to outgrow the version of yourself who was not yet ready for this hour. You are allowed to stop apologizing for the depth of what you can hear. And you do not owe anyone an apology for becoming the listener heaven has finally found. There is a Hebrew word that ties this together. The word is Shama. It is the most important word in the Hebrew prayer life. It means hear, but not the way you think it means hear. In English, hearing is passive. Sound enters the ear. The ear does its job. Nothing else is required. You can hear and do nothing. In Hebrew, Shema is not passive. To hear, in Shema, is to already begin to walk. To hear is to obey. To hear is to respond. Hearing and the response are not two events, they are one motion. So when heaven gives you the Shema, you have already begun to walk into the answer the moment you receive it. The hearing is the obeying. The receiving is the moving. That is what is happening in you right now. You have not just been hearing this hour. You have already begun to walk into what it is asking of you, whether you noticed or not. Before I can show you the actual tool that recalibrates the listening at the level of the brain itself, because I am about to show you, there is one more truth that has been placed on my heart. This one changes everything that comes next. So let me name plainly what we have done in this hour before we go any further. You came here exhausted from waiting and quietly afraid that your ear was broken or that heaven had simply gone quiet on you. The answer is neither. The answer is that you have been in formation, and the moment you have been waiting for has arrived. What you have learned in this hour is that there is a difference between Logos and Rhema. That hearing is a learned posture, not a special talent. That the silence in your life was preparing the ear you now have. And that the obstacle in front of you is not unbelief, but a guardian voice that no longer needs to guard you. Who you are in this hour is the listener heaven has been waiting on, not the loudest voice in the room, the one who finally became still enough to hear without bracing. Hold that for a moment. Now hear what comes next, because this is where the spiritual meets the physical, and most teachers stop right at the edge of this. You were not born ordinary. You were born with the brain of a child of light, the frequency of curiosity fully active, the frequency of reception fully alive, the wonder of a small child who learns without effort, who receives without earning, who believes without straining. That child of light is your original wiring. Then, the world started dimming her. Around the age of 7, the suppression begins. Researchers call it the decline effect. The frequency of the child mind, what scientists call gamma, starts being slowly tuned down by school systems built for compliance, by adults who teach you to doubt, by the hum of a culture that rewards small thinking. And then, as you became an adult, the second hijack happened. The frequency of receiving, what scientists call alpha, the channel through which a child receives gifts without questioning whether she deserves them, that channel began to close. The constant low-grade survival mode of adult life kept it shut. So, tonight, you are sitting with 2 suppressed frequencies, not 1. There is a man I respect who began noticing the same kinds of repeating signs you have been noticing this season. Numbers, phrases, dreams that left a residue. He had been searching for spiritual answers for over a decade. Then he listened to a 7-minute audio for 14 days in a row. The signs became sharper. The dream clarity returned. He wrote, "The world did not become more magical. I became able to receive the magic that was already there." The audio he was using is called The Genius Song, 7 minutes. Developed by Dr. Robert Lake after 34 years of work in brain research. It uses brain entrainment, binaural delivery, 2 slightly different tones into each ear to reactivate the gamma frequency that the decline effect has dimmed. It does not promise instant genius. It promises the first wave of restoration, the waking up of the child within. Dr. Lake is not a fringe figure. The research lineage runs through MIT, Princeton, Harvard, and other leading institutions. 3 decades of measurement, tens of thousands of users, less than 4% who ask for their money back. Hear this part carefully, because it matters. When you secure the Genius Song, you will eventually encounter another audio called The Youthful Brain. a stronger, amplified version of the same restoration used by many chosen ones who walk this path further than the first wave alone. You will see it after you have already secured the original. The original audio alone is complete. The youthful brain is for those whose spirit calls it forward after the first restoration takes hold. Do not overthink it. Spirit will know. Now hear what happens next. The first wave audio reverses the decline effect. The child mind wakes up. Curiosity returns. Openness returns. The magic returns. That is the first wave. But the child who wakes up in you discovers something. She still cannot reach for what is hers. The channel through which she was supposed to receive is closed. The frequency of reception, the alpha state, is being held shut by the background hum of stress that adult life has poured into your nervous system for years. Researchers call this the stress signal. It is beta wave hyperactivity, constant low-grade survival mode masquerading as normal. The child within you woke up, but she still cannot receive what was promised to her. That is where the second tool enters. There is a separate research lineage from the one that produced the first wave audio. A neuroscientist named Dr. Stephen Newton, formerly of Stanford. His work runs through Stanford, Boston University, Harvard, and other research institutions. He spent his career mapping exactly how the stress signal closes the receiving channel and exactly what frequency calibration reopens it. What he developed is a 5-minute audio that calibrates the brain out of beta hyperactivity, paired with a 9-word script that traces back to a Hindu technique over 3,000 years old. Together, they bypass what scientists call neural rigidity in the thalamus, the egg-shaped region that holds the gate of receiving open or closed. Long ago, a teacher said the kingdom belongs to those who become like little children. Few realized he was describing a frequency sequence. Child, first. Reception, second. Now the second wave can be named. It is called the wealth signal. After the child mind has been awakened, this is what opens the manifestation channel, the receiving channel, so that what was promised can finally arrive. When you secure the wealth signal, you will see another audio offered called Wealth Signal Accelerator. It amplifies the receiving channel further than the original audio reaches. Many chosen ones already on this path use it. The original, alone, is complete. The accelerator is for those whose spirit confirms going deeper. If it does not speak to you, leave it. The original by itself is enough. And one last note about both. Some chosen ones who walk furthest combine wealth signal accelerator with the youthful brain, the two amplifications working together. You will encounter both after you secure the originals, only if your spirit calls them forward. The originals alone are complete. The combination is reserved for those whose path requires going deeper than most. Spirit will know. Do not overthink it. There is a woman who carried what she called a tightness in the chest for as long as she could remember, a background scarcity hum that ran underneath every decision she made. She tried meditation. She tried therapy. She tried gratitude journals. The hum stayed. 18 days into the second wave audio, she noticed she was hearing her own internal answers without panic distortion. The hum had not gone away through more effort. It had gone away because the channel through which she was meant to receive had finally been allowed to open. A few questions are sometimes asked here, and I will answer them quickly. The first is, I have tried meditation, manifestation, affirmations, every spiritual tool. Why would this be different? The answer is in the mechanism and the sequence. Meditation asks the brain to change itself from the inside out, slowly. These two audios calibrate the brain frequency directly through measurable sound technology. And almost everything you have tried targeted only one frequency. This is the only sequence I know of that addresses both in the order they need. The second is, this sounds too good to be true. The answer is that the results are EEG measurable, replicated in independent labs. Combined, nearly 38,000 chosen ones have used these tools across both phases. Less than 5% ask for refunds. The numbers are public. The third question, which is the largest, is why two products? Why not one? The answer is that the gamma frequency and the alpha frequency are not the same. They cannot both be activated by the same calibration, and the sequence matters. The child mind has to wake up before the receiving channel can be used the way a child uses it. One tool would have been more convenient. Two tools is what the brain actually requires. 3 paths are placed below this video. The first path is restoration alone, the first wave audio by itself. For those who feel that the child within them has gone deeply asleep and needs to wake up first before anything else, that path is honored. It is a real beginning. The second path is reception alone, the second wave audio by itself. For those rare chosen ones whose child mind is still alive, who have kept curiosity and openness through the years, but who cannot reach for what they know is theirs. That path is rare. It is also honored. The third path is the complete restoration, both in sequence, the child waking up and then the receiving channel opening for her. This is the path most chosen ones who hear this message walk, because most of us need both. Most of us have lost both, and most of us, when we hear, become like little children and then receive, recognize that this is the path that was always going to be ours. Restoration and reception compound. They do not simply add up. The child waking with the channel still closed is half a restoration. Like a child who wakes in the morning but is not allowed to come to the table where the gifts have been set. Hear what is true. Every day the decline effect continues to dim, the gap widens. Every day the stress signal continues to hijack, the channel narrows. Both compound, neither stops on its own. And the version of you with both restored is already looking back at this hour as the hinge, not the moment you got everything you wanted, the moment you stopped letting both frequencies continue to suppress and chose to begin the recalibration. One more thing must be named, because not naming it would not be loving. What you may find on Amazon, on streaming platforms, on free upload sites that look similar, is not these audios. They are not free recordings. They are not pirated easily. The two original tools are delivered only through their authorized paths, which I have placed in the description and the pinned comment below this video. If you find something that looks similar elsewhere, it is not the same calibration. The brain frequency will not respond to the imitation the way it responds to the actual recording. Protect yourself by going through the proper doors. Now there is no more teaching to give about this, only the choice. So pose for a moment. In your mind, place your awareness lightly on the center of your chest. Just one breath in, one breath out. This is not a question of, should I buy something? This is a question of, which path is mine? All three are honored. None of them is wrong. None of them is rushed. Your spirit knows which one. The 3 doors are below. In the description, in the pinned comment, 3 paths for 3 different chosen ones. If your spirit pulls toward the first wave alone, restoration only, the path is there. If it pulls toward the second alone, reception only, that path is there too. If it pulls toward the complete restoration, both audios in sequence, the way most chosen ones who hear this message walk, that path is also there. 3 doors, all in the description, all in the pinned comment. None of them require you to decide right now if your spirit is not ready, but all of them are there if it is. Now, back into the deeper current. The tools are placed, the doors are open. What remains is the path this hour has been building toward from the first sentence. The sentence that has been forming under your prayers, the sentence that has been writing itself in fragments across your week, is about to become a single thing in your hands. And once it is in your hands, you will know exactly who you are. Listen to me, chosen one of the listening lineage. What was forming under the silence has finally come into shape, and what is in your hands tonight is not random. The sentence that is about to be sealed is not a sentence I am giving you. It is a sentence heaven has been writing into the architecture of who you have always been. You were called to be a voice. Not loud, a voice. The kind that carries words others can feel but cannot articulate. The kind that says, in one short sentence, what an entire room has been trying to say in fragments for hours. The reason you have been able to hear what was placed in this hour is that the voice in you has been awake longer than the voice in most rooms. What looked like sensitivity, that thing people sometimes told you was a weakness, was actually broadcast capacity. You were not built thin-skinned. You were built receiver grade. You were called to be a seer. The reason you have been overhearing things this season, words showing up in dreams, sentences appearing in your mind without source, signs repeating across unrelated rooms, is that the seer in you has been activating without your consent. You did not turn it on. You could not turn it off either. What you have been calling intuition, what you have been afraid to trust, is the seer learning to use her eyes again. You are not imagining what you have been seeing. You are remembering how to see. You were called to be a truth carrier. The reason conversations that used to fit do not fit anymore is that the truth carrier in you can no longer pretend. The reason rooms that used to feel safe now feel small is that the truth carrier in you cannot stay where the air requires her to be silent about what is real. What you have been losing this year is exactly what was always meant to fall away. The wrong fits, the too small rooms, the friendships that survived only as long as you stayed quiet. None of those were home. They were waiting rooms, and you have just walked out of them. And you were called to be a bridge. Listen carefully to this one, because it is the one most chosen ones miss about themselves. You can hold both the silence and the speaking. You can hold both the doubt and the receiving. You can hold both the season of waiting and the season of arrival, without collapsing either one. That is a rare thing. Most people choose one and reject the other. The bridge does not. The reason you can hold all of that is that you were built as a translator between worlds. The Rhema word that arrived in you tonight is not for you alone. It is for the people who will hear it through you, in conversations that have not happened yet, in years that have not unfolded yet. You are not just a recipient of the sentence, you are a channel of it. That is who you are: voice, seer, truth carrier, bridge. These are not titles to live up to. These are descriptions of what you already are, finally said, out loud. Stay with me for one more thing before this hour seals. In your mind, not out loud, I want you to picture a hall, not a hall of mirrors, a hall of doors. Each door represents a season of your life. Most of them are closed, some are sealed. A few you walked away from years ago and never went back. But there is one door, at the very end of the hall, that is slightly open. A faint light is coming through it. It is not a dramatic light. It is the kind of light you only see when the rest of the hall is dim enough. From inside that room, a voice is saying your name in a tone you have never quite heard before. Not loud, not urgent, just the kind of way someone says your name when they have been waiting a long time and are finally about to greet you. You walk toward it. You do not hurry. The walk itself is the activation. This is not visualization. This is rehearsal. The walk you are taking in your mind right now is the listening posture you will carry with you when this video ends. Into your kitchen tomorrow morning. Into your car next week. Into the conversation that will surprise you on Wednesday. When the conversation comes, you will remember the hall. You will remember the door. You will remember the voice on the other side of it. And without thinking about it, you will lean toward the still small voice, the way you just leaned toward that door. That is the rehearsal. That is the gift. Thank you for staying. Thank you for honoring the silence long enough to let it speak. Thank you for being still enough to hear without bracing. Thank you for trusting the sentence that arrived for you tonight, even before you fully understood it. Here, in this moment, the version of you who believed she was not the kind of person God speaks to clearly is being laid down, not punished, not shamed, laid down with dignity, like a coat that served you faithfully through a long winter that you no longer need now that the air has changed. Hear what is true. You are the listener heaven has been waiting on. You are the channel through which the sentence will flow into the lives of others. You are the chosen one whose hearing has finally come fully alive. Listen to what is being placed on my heart for you one final time tonight. My child, I commission you tonight as one whose ear is awake. The sentence I have placed in you will continue to speak. Where you go this week, hear me again. Where you sit this month, hear me again. The line I have written for you does not end at this hour. It continues to be written into your days. The hearing you have tonight is not borrowed. It is yours. Carry it as yours. It is sealed. You are not alone in this. Right now, all across the world, chosen ones are sitting in the same hour you are sitting in, hearing the same kind of sentence the Father has been holding for them. You are part of a quiet awakening. This is one room of many. The same hour is happening in cities you have never seen, in languages you do not speak, in chairs, in rooms, in houses you will never enter. You are not the only one. You are one of many. And tonight, you are exactly where you were meant to be. For some of you, the next part of this season involves a relationship that has been forming in the unseen, just out of view. The same Father who is teaching you to hear sentences is also teaching you to recognize people when they arrive. There is a separate work called Destiny's Embrace that walks chosen ones through that recognition when the season turns. I will share more about it in another hour. Tonight, simply trust that the listening you have built in this hour is also a recognition tool for the people who are coming. If you can feel the listening posture sealed in you tonight, type the words, "I hear," in the comments below. Not for me, for yourself. So your spirit and your hands agree on the same declaration before you walk away from this hour. If something has shifted in you, let your like be your agreement without words, not for the channel. For the next chosen one who is sitting in the same kind of silence you used to be sitting in and who needs this hour to find them. If this hour found you in Kairos, more words are being prepared for the seasons ahead. Subscribe so they can find you when they are ready, so that the next sentence does not have to be searched for, so that when it is time, you are already here. Send this to someone who has been unusually quiet this month. Someone who has stopped saying out loud what they used to say. Someone you suspect has been waiting for a sentence they do not yet know how to ask for. Tonight may be their hour too, the same way it was yours. And for those whose hearing the Father is preparing through the recalibration we spoke about, the doors are still placed below this video. In the description, in the pinned comment, your spirit will recognize the door that is yours. None of the three are wrong. All of them are honored. The choice is between you and the one who has been waiting on the other side of your listening. You did not just watch a video tonight. You stepped into a reading. The reading is now sealed. Carry it forward.